DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines proudly brings you Equal Justice. Find out the hottest legal issues of the week and hear the analysis. And now, here are your hosts, Attorney Ador Tolentino.
Yes to peace, no to BBL. Facebook. Okay, if you want to follow.
Attorney June Kicho.
Kailangan ano kayo comfort level eh.
Exactly.
And Attorney Tiki Tabuhara.
Vice President Binay, pati si Pinoy, pati si Executive Secretary.
Good afternoon, Philippines. Good afternoon, world. This is Attorney June Kicho, and this is Equal Justice. Woo! It was a rather easy ride from my home in Quezon City to here in Makati. That was nice. You know, last weekend, my daughter attended a party somewhere in the southern portion of Metro Manila, and by 10 o'clock, I think 10:30, she phoned in to tell us that she was on her way home already. So we were expecting her at around 11:30 because it was already deep in the night. Unfortunately, I was worried by around 11:30. I was already worried because she wasn't home yet. And you know what time she was able to get home? 1:30. I am sure that every one of us experienced that heavy traffic on Monday, or what was that? Friday, August 28th, until Sunday, until Monday morning, I think. And that was because of the rally held by our brothers and sisters of Iglesia de Cristo. And of course, the Facebook, the social networks were flooded with complaints from from our netizens about the traffic that was caused by the mass action initiated by the Iglesia de Cristo. And as we all know, this is all part of the whole saga, no? This has already become of epic proportion, no? This Iglesia de Cristo controversy, I should say. You know, we thought many weeks ago we talked about the case of Angel and Lottie Manalo, the mother and brother of Brother Eddie Manalo, who sought help, no, by video, because for the reason, as they said, that they were being held hostage, or that they were being detained in their own home, and that eventually it resulted in their excommunication from, I do not know if that's a term they use in Iglesia de Cristo, because that's the term used by Catholics when you are expelled from your church. So excommunication. Let's call it expulsion from the Iglesia de Cristo, and that also raised a lot of howl from especially from netizens and media, because the victim was the mother and the brother of the current head of the Iglesia de Cristo. So there were already talks about the Iglesia de Cristo being divided, because apparently it was not only the mother and the brother who were detained, but there were many other ministers who were detained, and it turned out that many other members also were already raising a howl about the case, and so there were several cases filed with regard to this matter. One of them, what I can remember, was the case of Lito Fruto. Okay, I think it was Lito Fruto was the one who helped the Angel and Lottie Manalo. He helped them escape and hid them, and then later on there was a rape case that was filed against him, and his defense was that it was actually a trumped up case, and that it was some sort of an action, a harassment case to silence him on his mother, and also to punish him for having helped the Iglesia de Cristo, the mother and the son Manalos from with regard to their detention, house detention. So it goes on that Lito Fruto also filed a case against the Iglesia de Cristo ministers, and that I think that case had something to do with with the monies held by the leaders of Iglesia de Cristo. In fact, several questions have already been raised. Legal issues have been raised, and several other issues have been raised in media regarding corruption within the Iglesia de Cristo. Well, actually, as a Catholic, this is no different from us, from the Catholic Church. We all know that the Pope Francis also had to clean up the Vatican and had to make a lot of changes within the Catholic Church, whether it be just in Vatican or in the national church, the Catholic Church in different countries. So it's actually something not new in the church. Ano pa nga ba pinakamalaking negosyo sa mundo ito? Kundi it's actually not prostitution, it's not drugs, it's actually the religion. Well, you know how rich evangelizers have become, and we've seen them not only in the Catholic Church. Earlier on, many years ago, I remember this very famous, probably the most famous evangelizer in the United States, who was also accused of pocketing his ministry's money. It's really a big temptation, but I think it's not about the money being evil. It is about people being weak in the face of temptation. So whether it is money, whether it is sex or any other thing, it really is a power is temptation. Yes. In fact, it is about power. It's not about money. It's not about It's because money is so innocent until you use power to meddle or to tinker with the money.
Pero sa totoo lang, yung pinag-usapan nyo kanina, medyo it hit me personally rin.
Yeah.
Kasi I think last week yata to, nung Sunday, I passed EDSA, and I was on my way from Quezon City to Paranaque, and mga 5 o'clock yan eh, and then
layo naman ang pinupunta.
And then, dinadayo natin yan kasi siyempre marami tayong trabaho.
Okay, that's fine.
Tapos, tinatrabaho. Tapos, I passed by EDSA, and then dun sa may stretch ng EDSA corner, Megamont tsaka Ortigas.
Yes.
And then hanggang show, nakabara both sides.
Yes.
And then, it took me about mga 2 hours na hindi gumagalaw. Hanggang,
I was telling that about my daughter.
Oo, and then the MMDA directed us to C5, no? Via yung Robinsons, no? But sabi ko, what is this protest all about? Kasi if they were actually holding a permit to hold the rally, the local government unit which has jurisdiction over the permit that was issued should at least take measures to make sure that the ingress and egress of the traffic and the people was ensured.
Yes, in fact, di ba, yan yung reason that's why you have to ask for a permit. So to make sure that the traffic, access
is not impaired. Ngayon, ang naging problema dito kasi, if you look at the Facebook, lahat ng mga social media, lahat nagreklamo di ba? Naging naging INC bashing na hindi ng rally pinag-usapan Pero parang,
precisely.
Sino ba itong mga to, di ba? Sino ba itong mga to? And, ako naman, I could understand naman their point kasi it's just freedom of expression.
Yes.
Kaya lang, that is not absolute, di ba?
Yes.
You cannot encamp yourself on EDSA and then expect everybody else not to go to work, di ba?
Yes.
Ganun lang yun di ba? So, ang sa akin lang kasi, if they indeed wanted to follow the law, the Constitution, and then get the permit for rally, sana sinundan man lang na sana yung proper protocol.
Yes.
Diba? Ganun lang.
But again, Dicky, I was talking to Mount Hernan earlier, and we were talking about it because I was telling him the other aspect of it is freedom of it's the right to freedom of expression.
Under the Constitution.
Yes, but considering as he was asserting earlier, that the case naman had nothing to do with the separation of church and state, but rather involving an individual right, because the case filed by Isaiah Samson was about illegal detention, was an illegal detention case against the 8 Iglesia and Cristo leaders, and he said that was not a justified freedom of expression, and that's why he went on to tell about his experience with rallies. He said, maganda yung rally because that's one way of changing the way, of really seeking redress, from government. But then you have to have a legitimate reason for that, and what he was saying that it was not a legitimate reason. What do you say about what is the parameters?
Sa akin ganito, no? The freedom of expression is freedom of expression mo na. Sa expression mo na, no? It's not just necessarily a political purpose.
Yes.
So you can actually exercise your freedom of expression for a private purpose.
Yeah.
I think in this case, it was a private thing.
Yes.
So within the organization, they were protesting the act of Secretary de Lima as Secretary of Justice in prosecuting one of their elders. No? So they said that it was freedom of religion. Again, apart from that issue, let me address first the issue of freedom of assembly.
Yes.
In my opinion, their exercise of freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, to peaceably assemble, to petition the government for redress of grievances under the Constitution was valid.
Yeah.
Okay, para sa akin yun. Kasi if it is the case that they actually block the thoroughfare, they occupied the entire EDSA, walang nakadaan, okay, that is maybe parang siguro sa implementation. But the right is there, that they can actually do that. Now, I think that what naging pagkukulang dito, Attorney John, is the proper implementation and supervision of the rally in such a way that it would not unduly prejudice the public interest.
Yes.
Okay, so pwede ka mag-rally, alam na natin, you can hold the rally anywhere you want. No? Sa ibang bansa na, dapat sa piling lugar, dito kahit siya di ba? But you have to also respect the rights of others for yung ingress and egress nila.
Mobility, because mobility is also a constitutional right.
Ngayon, yung sinasabi ng Iglesia ni Cristo na freedom of religion, I don't think that is a valid argument.
Yes. Okay.
In fact, if you remember, you've been reading my Facebook blog, I've been writing against this argument na hindi talaga freedom of religion ito, because what is being argued here is a violation of our criminal laws.
Yes.
So hindi siya related dun sa restriction on the religion of the INC to practice the religion.
Yes.
So
and in fact, they were saying this is a violation of the separation.
Correct. In fact, anybody in this world or this country, whether regardless of what his religion is, cannot violate our criminal laws without being liable for it.
Yes.
So,
Yes. In fact, the case was serious illegal detention, no? which is a regular, which is one of the cases, the
Revised.
common cases provided for
sa revised
in
penal
the
code.
revised
Okay,
penal
now,
code. Yes.
kung yung mga pare are being held liable for itong mga rape, incest,
Yes.
child molestation, even the Pope himself is not liable, is not exempt, no? Pati
Yes.
mga Muslim, lahat.
Mhm.
So, ganun din ang Iglesia ni Cristo na dapat, pag sila nakasala, they violate the criminal law, dapat, they should also be held liable under the criminal laws. Kasi wala naman talaga exempt dyan, di ba?
Yes.
Kahit anong religion pa yan. In fact, it might even be worse.
Mhm.
No? Pagka sa case ng mga pare,
Yes,
sa mga
I was
case
telling them, this is even the
But if-
Catholic Church had gone through more bigger scandals.
Oo. And tandaan nyo na walang sinasanto dito.
Yes.
So, like the saying goes, pagka ikaw nakabiolate ka ng criminal law natin, regardless of kung sino ka man, no?
Yes.
Foreign official, dignitary, whatever, unless you're an ambassador, no?
Yes.
You are liable.
Yes.
Diba?
Mhm. So yun na nga ang ano natin.
Pero ang mali lang kasi na dito is that yung siguro yung purpose ng rally, no? Nobody is questioning the right to hold the rally, but the purpose was to pressure the government into their demand na i-atras na yung investigation ni Secretary de Lima dun sa isang elder nila na who's accused of illegal detention. But again, may mga nag-comment naman dito negative na sinasabi na it is an act of terrorism daw. Kasi daw, you've been pressured the government to give it to a certain demand. Pero
Sobra naman yan.
sa akin naman, hindi ba pwedeng terrorism kasi there should be violence eh.
Yes.
Wala naman violence eh. So nagkataon lang, nag-assemble sila, but there's no violence.
Yes.
So it's not terrorism.
Yes.
Siguro,
Isa pa. Oo.
in my opinion, it could have been siguro at worst, no?
Yes.
Pag wala sila permit, nag-occupy sila ng EDSA, sedition siguro.
Yes.
Sedition siguro. Makapwede.
Well, one thing that we have to bear in mind about freedom of expression is that we should not put so much limits into it. Kasi we have learned the lessons of the years that the moment na every detail of or every cause, kung sinisave pa natin yung causes ng mass actions natin, ganyan, mas nalilimit mo yung freedom of expression, no? May tendency ka to limit even the what will turn out to be legit expressions of protest, for instance.
Well, yes, actually, yung freedom of expression natin is very pervasive, no?
Yes.
Ibig sabihin, you can actually be very liberal, you should be liberal in granting this thing. Even though kahit sabi mo may violation, walang permit, gano'n. Meron na ng, if I recall, noong 2004, nagkaroon ng protest dyan yung protest namin doon sa GSIS, yung against, I think it was them against Garcia.
Yeah.
Nagpo-protest kami doon sa GSIS, noong 2004 yan end of 2004. And then, nag-rally kami doon sa GSIS, and they were asking for a permit. So sabi na, wala permit. And then, we went to the CHR, and I think it was my classmate si Atty. Velasco, si Albert, who actually got the opinion that was issued by then the late Commissioner on Human Rights Commissioner Kisumbing, na which basically said na this permit requirement under DP 880 for all rallies is actually constitutional.
Yes.
Yan sinabi niya, it was not opinion. Although we had previous rulings, yung mga Ruiz versus Gordon, yung kay Bagat Singh versus Reyes, di ba, na meron talagang it was upheld eh, yung kailangan ng permit, which I think is wrong. It should be revisited eh. Dapat na revisited. And if I remember again correctly, around the time ni GMA, siguro 2008, siguro to 2006, itong sila Randy David, nag-rally diba sa Detention kasi nag-rally sa EDSA, then nahuli sila. They were charged for BP 880 and then na-dismiss them. Kasi nga, yun nga, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, yun ang binasihan.
Hindi ko alam kung yung Hyatt 10 were kasi di ba remember when Hyatt 10 happened, they were caught, di ba, doon sa Ross Boulevard. And Dinky Suliman, now Secretary Dinky Suliman, was actually detained at that time. Because sinamahan ko dahil sila sa detention.
Nakasama ka? Nakulong na rin. Nakulong na rin.
Hindi naman ako nakulong, but nung narinig ko sa radyo that she was caught, no? Siyempre tumakbo kami kasi kaibigan namin eh. But that was only because they walked, no?
Okay.
Palong
Ross, Dewey Boulevard.
Na nakasuot sila ng black, di ba there was this black and white movement. Nakasuot sila ng black and white movement. And apparently an expression of their protest against the president.
Well, sa akin lang kasi parang this has been an issue for so long, right? Permit to rally.
Yes.
Pero ako, ang feeling ko talaga dyan is it isn't unconstitutional kasi the Constitution really grants you the right to peaceably assemble and address the government for redress of grievances. And kung bibigyan mo ng permit yan, you're actually giving the local government unit or the city the authority to grant or deny.
Yes, and remember, there were a lot of cases back then, na hindi nila binibigyan ng permit. Ang reason lang nila is because it's going to destroy, to ruin the travel. No? Okay. We'll continue the discussion when we come back.